Art and Leisure. My name is Chioma Okpara. This is a 30-minute program which celebrates creativity in the arts. We also showcase our rich culture. Today, we are focusing on the people of Onitsha. Their year ends in September, and to welcome the new year, which starts every October, a festival is organized. OFALA Festival means a lot to Onitsha indigenes. But before I tell you more about the festival, I'd like you to know that art exhibition has become an integral part of the festival. Take a look. OREZE exhibition is in its second edition. The first time it took place, which was last year, 55 artists participated. This time around, 108 artists have their works here. All the art pieces speak about our culture. The exhibiting artists were drawn from different parts of the country and beyond. Many of them are accomplished artists whose works are on choice places. Prince Dimas Nwoko, a veteran artist and a role model to many, declared the exhibition open.
To the glory of God and humanity.
These 108 artists have documented past and present events.
In OREZE too, first of all, we are trying to showcase the rich cultural heritage of the Onitsha people, and also how other people from other tribes can interpret the Onitsha culture. Because we have artists coming from the western part of Nigeria, some artists coming from the north, some artists coming from Edo State. We have a couple of Ghanaian artists, and the ones coming from Togo and Benin Republic. All of them are also working towards things relative to Onitsha tradition from their own context, the way they look at it.
The painters among them worked in different media like oil on canvas, oil on board, oil on texture, acrylic on canvas, watercolor, and paper collage.
I titled it Echoes of the Past. Before the coming of the Europeans into Africa, mostly Nigeria, there were many things that we were using then that the European came and they changed most of our culture. Calabash is a very vital aspect of African culture then. So the calabash at the middle of the work, that's the first panel, it shows Africa, what they were using, as in they use it to drink, use calabash to eat and all that. But when the European came, they not trapped. That's why the second we can see a trapped calabash in the second panel, painted blue with different colors. So they trapped their culture, kind of, with their own culture, that now we now use breakable plates and even wear clothes instead of the normal skin we were using before.
This painting is titled Fisherman's Cottage. In this painting, actually, I was trying to capture, those people at that tall mainland bridge, the way they set their houses on that water. So I'm trying to capture it in another format, trying to make it a little bit pop, in a pop art.
Yeah, I titled it Youthful Exuberance. You can see a young lady with her two hands on her cheek, and at the background you can see various activities going on there. We have sporting activity, we have health issues, academics and stuff like that. These are the things that are bothering the youths of this day. They don't even look inward to see what the culture of their community or their society, where they are coming from, what it is all about. They are more interested in the recent things going on in the society. And at the end of the day, you find out that most of them, they go astray.
This is my work. It's an oil on canvas work. It's a pretty old work, sir. The name is Controller.
This work is titled Interlude 8. It has 3 women broken down into geometrical shapes. It's a mixed media work. It has cutouts of fabrics at the background, then covered with acrylic pigments and all of that. If you look at the fusion, they are wearing the normal gowns, something a little bit modern. And one of the ladies also has a bead around her waist, dressing style of women when they combine European and African stuff together.
Sculptors in this exhibition employed the medium of plasticast, metal, wood, brass, aluminum foil, mixed media, and plaster of Paris.
The title is Abalanze. Abalanze in Onitsha means, in general terms, the titled men. And when you talk about the titled men, we have two categories of titled men. That's the Ndiche and the Abalanzes.
My work is Ugomma, the bride. It's a mixed media made up of glass fiber and metal.
The piece is Izukanane, siblings that come from one mother, naturally agreed together than siblings that come from different mothers.
The ceramists had their works glazed and also used the terracotta medium.
The title of the work is AZU OFALA, and the medium is fired clay. So AZU OFALA is the second day of the OFALA celebration. And in that day is the day the Igwe appears to the indigenes of Onitsha.
People from all walks of life came to see this exhibition.
It's a source of joy that our young artists are producing such good artwork.
They are really talking about culture per se. Everything here is about culture, and I think they are quite impressive.
Our people are doing very well, removing the fact that most of them are becoming too abstract for the ordinary man. But I'm impressed, and it just happens that the monarch, Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe, is interested in fine arts for a very long time.
The Director General of the National Gallery of Art was represented.
Very impressive works on display. NGA is happy. We are happy that Agbogidi, the View of Onitsha, has instituted this program to complement the OFALA Festival.
Prince Dimas Mwoko, the special guest of honor, expressed his delight this way.
I'm very happy because it shows that art has taken off and that we are having the next generation strongly on the ground, and which for a person like me is a very happy occasion to see that.
He encouraged younger artists to be prolific.
Virtually all the job I did, all the artworks I created, was created when I was as young as you all. In fact, I've created no paintings or sculptures since I became a middle-aged man. I've not. So it is at your age that you are creating what will be recognized as masterpieces tomorrow.
This second edition of OREZE exhibition took place at the instance of His Royal Majesty Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe, the Obi of Onitsha, a man who does not hide his love for visual arts. He gives his impression about the works on display.
Fantastic, just simply fantastic. We have big names like Kaine Biosahenye, Ben Osahai, Sam of Wrighty, Samuel Boho. We have some 19 Onitsha indigenous artists who are contributing work. Arts in the broad sense, in terms of music, dance, and masquerades, and so on, but also visual arts have always been part and parcel of Onitsha culture. People like Ben Enwongo, I mean, the father of modern art in Nigeria, is from Onitsha. People like Osito Sadebe and Okechukwu Odita, who are part of the Zaria 7, were all from Onitsha here. So, in a sense, it's a revival. It's an attempt to bring to the minds of the world that Onitsha is not only for trading and business, like we said earlier on, but also is more than that. But also we think that visual art particularly, but also literature and even music and dance, they can all play a major role in this process of bringing OFALA Onitsha into the 21st century.
He's applauded for making the exhibition an integral part of the OFALA festival.
We will thank Igwe for including in his annual OFALA the exhibition of works of great artists, great young artists.
Abogidi, as is fondly called, unveils his plan for OREZE exhibition 2015.
By next year, this exhibition will take a bigger role. We'll have lectures to accompany the exhibition. We'll have symposia. We'll have workshops for younger artists. We're going to invite big-name artists from both Nigeria and all over the world to come together and spend about a week talking about the relevance of visual arts and of the arts to a cultural festival like ours.
Many are of the opinion that OREZE exhibition is playing an important role in the interpretation, portrayal, and documentation of the deeper meaning of OFALA Festival. Welcome back. That was the second edition of OREZE exhibition. If you don't understand Igbo, OREZE simply means the king's crowd. And the king here is Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe. He's the Obi of Onitsha. He's been on the throne for 12 years. He's upheld the culture and tradition of the land, one of which is OFALA. The festival takes place every October. Now recline your cushion as I bring to you OFALA 2014. The weather is clement and Onitsha people are happy. Every year, the people of Onitsha in Anambra State celebrate the OFALA Festival. This is the 13th edition and is quite colorful. They are Onitsha young men and women, and this can be called a mock OFALA. The future belongs to them and they are well positioned. Ndiche, also known as red cap chiefs or high chiefs, enter the arena in grand style. Each person is gaily dressed with a headdress on nukuopu in local parlance to match.
Ndiche normally wear these big cap for occasions. Nukuopu has a big hat. And it's so well decorated. In some cases, very scantily.
And the length is very heavy.
Not so heavy, at least to give you room for maneuver so that you can move around without too much of encumbrance. Igwe gives Abani only to the Ndiche women. But you can see others hold this fan we call Azuzo. Azuzo is a fan which every Ndiche has. But Ndiche women exclusively own Abani. The position of Ndiche is to render some service to the community. And the fellow who determines who becomes an Ndiche is the monarch.
Of note here is the caliber of men in Obi's cabinet. They are professionals of no mean repute.
In choosing my cabinet, I reach out to people who are highly qualified, people who have earned distinctions in their respective professions, to come back home and assist in the traditional governance and turning around of the community, just like Nnamdi Azikiwe did. He was president of Nigeria, but also he took the title of the Owele of Onitsha and eventually came back to Onitsha and became a member of the traditional cabinet and made his own contribution. That is our direction for the 21st century.
Ngozi Okafor is a professor of physical chemistry. He taught at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and also at the University of Agriculture, Makurdi. As a retired lecturer, he's come home to help in the traditional governance of his town.
There are 6 first-class Ndiche in Onitsha, and Ogenonira is the 5th one, in which my humble self is occupying, as it were. Ogenonira, for now, is in charge of the group of villages known as Ogbeolu. Ogbeolu is made up of Obikboro, Ogbotu, Mbelekeke, and Obolonikem. So whatever goes on in these villages should come under the purview of Ndiche Ume, in this case, Ogenonira.
The first-class chiefs are called Ndiche Ome. They are 6 in number.
An Ndiche Ome is supposed to be a political head of one of the political zones in Onitsha.
The rest fall into other classes.
There's a middle rank, Ndiche Okwa, and then there's a third rank, Ndiche OREZE.
Diokpa is a title given to the oldest man in every kindred.
They are the custom and tradition affairs consultants.
These men belong to a group known as Agbalanze.
There are certain ceremonies according to Onitsha custom and tradition which we perform to qualify you to be a member of Agbalanze. First and foremost, you must be a member. You must be an Onitsha man in all respects. When we say Onitsha man, you are not a slave, you are a freeborn.
In Onitsha, women are held in high esteem.
To be a member, you have to be an indigene and of Onitsha. But if you are not an indigene and your husband is an indigene of Onitsha and marry an Igbo woman, then the wife is qualified to take the title as Otuodo.
Being a member of the Otuodo society comes with responsibilities.
As a retired civil servant, I help them to talk to the children, help to mold their characters, make them to know the do's and don'ts in the society.
OFALA brings all these groups together. It happens once a year and it signals the beginning of another year for Onitsha indigenes.
Last year was a good year for Onitsha people. First of all, we thank God that He kept most of us alive and well, and people were busy in their respective vocations, and many of them were very successful in whatever they were doing. My children are doing well in school. So all in all, there's plenty to thank God for.
It's only during OFALA that the monarch is seen by everybody.
Agbogidi, as is popularly called, makes a royal entry. This is also a test of his popularity amongst his people. At this 2014 edition of the OFALA Festival, Igwe Achebe spoke on key national issues.
Boko Haram insurgency has become very obnoxious. It is incumbent on all well-meaning citizens of Nigeria, irrespective of our diversity, whether it's political or ethnic or religious, to rally behind Mr. President to defeat this invasion and support the government's strategy of cooperating with neighboring countries to fight this insurgency. I thank the federal government for the way it responded to the Ebola crisis and contained it. Unfortunately, a few of our people had to sacrifice their lives to save the country. One of them, Dr. Ameyo Adade Owali Anyani, her great-grandmother, hailed from the Asidiwe family of Oba, so she's one of us. The nation owes them much gratitude, and their souls rest in peace.
He also called on the state government to complete the mausoleum for Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe.
After several vicissitudes, work on the mausoleum resumed in River at the start of the present tenure of Mr. President, but stopped suddenly following the cabinet reshuffle in Europe. It's a national embarrassment that we have not duly honored this great national Azikiwe.
OFALA Onitsha started off as a traditional festival amongst the indigenes. Now, it attracts people from different parts of the world. The president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan sent a representative.
We must recognize that the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has utmost respect for the traditional institution. And for that reason and that purpose, he identifies with all the traditional institutions in the country. And whenever they invite him to any of his functions, he makes sure that his presence is felt, either directly or indirectly. Because he also wants to make sure that his governance has the participation of the traditional institution.
Mr. Willie Obiano, the governor of the state, came with an entourage.
I'm happy to have a briefing from the OFALA planning committee that this OFALA was one of the best attended in the 13 years of OFALA celebration by Igwe Nnaemeka. And they attributed that to the peace that we established.
Elder statesmen also made out time to be here.
Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe is the one I respect most. I respect him not just because he's a handsome man, tall, carrying himself with dignity, but because there's my idea of a modern institutional.
Other monarchs have a high regard for the Obi of Onitsha.
This is my third year of appearance here. We are representing the Oni of Ife, Oba Okunade Shijuade. With my friend here, we are representing the Oni. I'll be coming here every year to represent him.
The ancient OFALA Onitsha is acknowledged in Nigeria and beyond as a leading cultural festival.
I think it's great. It's fantastic. It's a process of cultural rejuvenation, which I think we should encourage, and encourage all our royal fathers to follow suit.
During the OFALA, the Obi of Onitsha comes out thrice to dance, after which he dances out with Ndichie, and that signals the end of OFALA for the year. The next day's event is called AZU OFALA.
On the AZU OFALA, the indigenous community will now come very close to him.
The community is broken up into age grades, and each age grade accommodates 3 years age interval. 35 age grades danced before their king in this year's AZU OFALA. Students also came and they got gifts from their king. OFALA festival is a happy event and many people participate. It is a time for the Igwe to bond with his people. They called him sweet names as he took the stage. Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe has been on the throne for 12 years.
What can I say? I'm surviving, that's the first thing. Secondly, it's very, very fulfilling. One cannot ask for a higher privilege than to, after having a career of over 30 years, to be asked by your people to come back and be their monarch. It's a great honor, it's a great privilege. And I do my best to cope with the challenges, with the responsibilities of that position.
This 13th edition of OFALA Festival has been adjudged successful by many, and plans are already in top gear to make next year's edition more interesting. Nice to have you back. OFALA Onitsha 2014 attracted people from all walks of life and from different parts of the world. The Obi and his cabinet members promise a more exciting festival next year. By God's grace, Art and Leisure will be there. Okay, to watch this episode and more episodes of Art and Leisure at your convenience, just go to www.artandleisure.com.ng. Please leave comments afterwards. My name is Chioma Okpara. God willing, there'll be a new edition next week. Love yourself. Love Nigeria.